channel. As always, it's more of a community than a channel, and today we're talking about what should I buy, kind of the year-end edition. This has been a really unique year, and really want to get into some of these tablets for productivity, kind of give you some ideas on what you should use. By the way, this community more than a channel, you hear me say it every video, it is, and we'd love to hear what you are using so other people, you can help other people. Just put a comment down there. This is what I'm using, JB. This is why I like it. And this is what I suggest for others. By the way, these devices have all been purchased except for the Supernote. Was sent to me by Supernote. Thank you, Supernote. And QuirkLogic sent me the King Kong of e-ink devices, the Aquila back here that I use for meetings. Those were actually provided to me by them, but all the rest has been purchased, and I have not been paid to say anything that I'm saying. These are 100% my opinions, and I'm just going to give them to you right off the cuff. So we're going to start off first with the Remarkable. I've got all these devices out here. This is the Remarkable 2. One of my favorite devices ever created was the original Remarkable. We then talked about the Remarkable 2 as it was coming out. Massive shipping delays really helped build the channel, to be honest with you. They took a lot of heat this year because they introduced a subscription model. A lot of people don't like subscription models, but they're trying to generate revenue. We did find out they're VC backed. Doesn't take away from the device, okay? It just means that if you're willing to pay a little extra for some functionality, you're going to have to pay a subscription. Turned off a lot of people. Overall, the device is pretty cool. It can break. I've noticed that in their Facebook group. Mine has not broken. It is a minimalistic device, and what I mean by that is it's made simple to just be a notebook replacement. It is not going to do much else than that, and a lot of people were disappointed when they first got this because they want to do email and other stuff. It's not made for that. It's a very minimalistic device. And by the way, if you're trying to figure out what device might work for you, I did do a quiz on my website, on my blog. If you just go down the left panel, there's a quiz, and basically it's a thinky quiz. And I put all these devices in the quiz, and it's kind of like, well, the way you think will help you determine what to buy. And so this is a very minimalistic, kind of clean device. If you like clean things, minimalistic devices, Remarkable 2 is a winner, except you got that subscription that a lot of people are turned off about. But I still think it's a great device. When it first came out, I was really wowed by it. I'm not grabbing it every day anymore, but I still do use it once in a while. That brings me to the Boox devices, which are kind of the opposite of the Remarkable 2. These are complex devices. They have the Note Air 2 now, the Lumi 2. I do not have those, though I will tell you that the Boox Lumi 2, the big one, is still my #1 tech paper reader. It's still for technical use. I think it's still the best out there. But these are very complex devices. You won't find me grabbing them often either because there's a lot going on. It's just not something in my busy day that I want to use, with the caveat that for some people that are engineers, really love that complexity, love these devices. And Boox does make some great devices. It's just depending on your use case. Once again, Boox, complex. If you're into very complex things, don't mind setting a few hours to set things up, figuring things out. That's the challenge. By the way, OneNote is a big one that people always ask me for, and I'll get into that. I have particular devices I use for that. These struggle with OneNote. There still hasn't been a good solution to that for those of you watching, so that can be an issue, right? So that's a Boox device. One of the interesting ones that came out by QuirkLogic Paper, by far best customer service. Boox customer service okay, Remarkable customer service on the lower end. These guys have great customer service. Paper, what an interesting product. They just came out with a new reader. If you watched my last video, very thin, very small kind of thinness in it, and I like this product. I use it every day for my podcast, my coach cast that I do, which is Morning Coach, and I write my notes on it. I use it specifically for that. Don't use it for a lot of other things, so I did read a book on it this year. But it is an interesting device. The negative of this device, obviously, it is heavily discounted now because it is coming to kind of the end of its cycle. Sony, who is the backbone of this device, has created a new one, and I don't have any information from QuirkLogic on when that's going to come out. Right now, they've heavily discounted this device, which is a few years old, about 4 years old, but still works for what you want it to do. Very simple device. It works. And like I said, I use it every day. You're looking for something a little bit bigger, it can work for you. But with knowing that there's probably going to be a new one coming out soon, that's something that you need to think about. They're known for their software, and obviously, if you can see behind me, the Aquila, really good for sharing. Their software is very unique. And again, they put a reader on here that was really cool. I still love the paper. I do. I'm just kind of anxious to see what the new one's going to be like because I do like to utilize this device. A little thin. By the way, on my website, I did have the cover. A couple people always ask me for this cover. For some reason, the company that sells it, it's not paper, by the way, changed it to a 10-inch cover. So I had to take it off my website. I don't know where to get a cover for that right now. That's one of the problems, right? But it is a cool device. That leads us to Supernote. Supernote is kind of in the middle. Like, it's getting a lot of run right now because of the Remarkable subscription kind of fiasco and the way they communicate. Remarkable 2 has never been a great communicator, and it upset a lot of people. So they've gone to Supernote. Supernote is an interesting device. They by far have the best styluses. If you like a really cool stylus, kind of like a Mont Blanc, they have great styluses. They have a different type of technology in that you write on the screen. It's a very unique feel. I don't mind it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Part of the problem with these devices is you can't test them, and that's part of the issue. A little bit of an older technology, more of the Remarkable 1 than the art of the Remarkable 2, but has a lot of great functionality. Android does some pretty cool things, kind of right in the middle of the Remarkable kind of minimalistic concept and the books concept right in the middle, but a good device, okay? Then we keep going. Obviously, I got my big boy iPad here. This is my media consumption machine. I am using this on a daily basis, typically for email and almost as a laptop replacement. Not e-ink, but close to it. And the reason I put it here is because the device that I'm using more than ever is the new iPad mini. I put let me see the company name. They did send me these, by the way, which is Doodleroo screen protector on it. And it's basically working like a e-ink device now, basically, except it's obviously got iPad functionality. I use it on a daily basis for all my planning, my note-taking, my reminders, my notes. I love the form factor. It's something I can throw in my pocket. And because I have the Apple Pencil, I can take this with me everywhere. It does have a lot more functionality, obviously, than these other devices. I'm not saying anything bad about e-ink. I do like them. I use the paper every day. I use Remarkable once in a while. But I am in the Apple world. Not an Apple fanboy at all. Just been using Apple stuff forever. I just got the new M1, which works with the new Sony Alpha 1 that I got this week. We're going to be using this for more videos and more content here on the channel. But it just works for me. It just works for me. I use Notability as the app to take notes. They're going to a subscription basis. Seems like everybody's going to a subscription basis. But it is an expensive device. And the one caveat that I will tell you, buyer beware, it is small. If you don't like small things, it's not for you. You might be saying, well, I need the ultimate productivity device, and then you get this, and you're like, wow, that's kind of small. That is an issue. So everything has pluses and minuses. I mean, I like the ability to have software that works with the iPad and have the computing power that the iPad has. It does make a difference in speed and functionality. But I am not going to say any of these devices are bad. It just depends on use case, as I always say. And again, one of the key things is if you have one device, I'm very fortunate that we've been able to build this channel. I do my revenue shares. The channel generates now around $1,400 a month in Google revenue. Plus, it brings a lot of people into my other systems. So I'm able to invest in this technology. And what I'm doing now is I started Morning Coach Discovery. You'll learn more about that. It's a $10 a month kind of Patreon program, but I do it on my own site. And I'm giving away stuff. So I'm going to be giving away my Sage, the brand new Sage that I have, and a Sage cover this month. Next month, I'll give another device away. And I'm using that kind of help support the channel. And I'm also teaching and coaching a lot on that. That's launching next year, but it is pretty cool. And we got a bunch of people in there, got a Discord server and stuff. It's working. And so I'm doing that. And so it allows me to get these devices and try them all out. And what my point is, if you only have the paper, you're going to use it. I have all these devices, so obviously that I'm going to move through each of them and try to use them. But on a daily basis, the one that I'm grabbing is the iPad mini and the iPad Pro, because I'm using that for media, and the iPad mini because it's easy to carry and it syncs with all my stuff. I'm really into the notes and the reminders on the Apple world. If that's not you, then these devices can work real well. Again, if you're looking for a basic note taker and don't mind the subscription model, the Remarkable 2 does work real well. It's not a great reader, but it can work. I personally use the Kobo and the Kindle for reading. So again, I have multiple devices. Usually use my business books on my Kindle, and then I have my fantasy and fictional books on my Kobo. And I do love the Kobos. I love the Kobos, and I love all these devices. I'm addicted to them, as you can tell. That's why I love to do this channel. But if you have only one, obviously you're going to use that one device more and more. Each of them has their kind of specific use cases. Paper, if you want something big and actually works, you get, and you don't mind that little bit of older technology, it still works. The writing speed, everything's great. They have great customer service. A pretty cool device. Remarkable too, if you're looking for just simple note taking. The books devices, if you want kind of an iPad-ish ink, I think that's where you go with the books devices. And again, if you're a professor or somebody that reads a lot of technical stuff, then I would look at the Lumi 2. It's pretty expensive, but it is probably the best technical reader at this time for markup. The Supernote has a nice little place in there if you like great styluses and a little different writing feel. I've found a lot of people jumping in the Supernote world. And then, of course, you can get into the other tablets like the iPads if you're into OneNote and you need specific things and more computing power. That's somewhere you can look. And then there's a Samsung, which I have had and actually given away, but I don't use those day to day. So if you ask me what I use day to day, I would tell you the paper sits on my desk. It's what I write my notes for my CoachCast. And anytime I'm building a program, I typically grab this device. Remarkable 2, I do carry this once in a while. I still like it for notes. I use it for videos. When I come in here to the studio, I'll grab it and write some notes on there. The iPad mini is my day-to-day driver. It has my planner. If you go to morningcoach.com, you can get the free planner. I'm going to be doing some videos, and if you join Discover, you'll learn more about that. But that's where my planner resides. I mean, I'm on here. I always use it in landscape mode. I hardly ever use it in portrait. It sits on my desk, and I'm constantly using this on a daily basis. It literally just sits like that on my desk, and that's what I use every single day. So questions, please put them in the comments. If you don't mind hitting the like, that helps. If you like my energy and some of the stuff we're doing, hit subscribe and hit that alert bell because it helps. We've got a plan to build this channel next year and have some fun. But I just wanted to go over what to buy, kind of an update. Be careful with the Kickstarter stuff. Some of the Kickstarter stuff's great, but I warned you at the beginning, in July, I remember because I was back home, watch the Reinkstone, watch the Top Joy. Not that I'm against them, it's just you've got to be careful with that technology. You look at Books, who's been at it forever, and they still haven't really got it down 100%. So just be leery about where you invest your money. These products are all pretty solid. They've got good backing. Subscription on some of them, like they're Remarkable, if that's not an issue with you, you'll be a good. QuickLogic's got great customer service. Books, products been out for a while. Supernote, great customer service. Kobo, good place to be. iPads, obviously Apple. These are all good devices. It's just trying to figure out what you really want to use them for. And again, if you're having trouble with that, go to my blog. Hit morningcoach.com, go to the blog, and down the left side, you'll see Take the Quiz, and that'll help you kind of understand your mindset. We've got a few questions, and it'll help you understand maybe that's the device for me. And of course, please leave comments below, because if you're watching this and going, JB, I already got my devices, they're rocking and they're rolling, I love the books, and this is why I use it, please put that down below so other people that are watching this, we can help guide them within the framework of this community. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for watching. As always, listen, go have a fantastic day. We got a lot more coming, and I truly appreciate you. Go have a great one.